I went no contact with my parents, and I've never felt more free or more guilty. I'm writing this from my new apartment. It's quiet. Peaceful. There's a plant on my windowsill that I actually remember to water. And for the first time in my life, I can breathe without waiting for a door to slam. But even now, part of me still hears the echo of voices that haunted my childhood. Let me explain. My name is Sarah. I'm 29. For most of my life, I thought I was the problem. I wasn't loud enough. I wasn't thin enough. I didn't smile right in photos. I didn't clean the kitchen the way it's supposed to be cleaned. I didn't pick the right friends. I didn't dress like a lady. I didn't go to the church they approved. I didn't want the kind of life they imagined for me. And when I spoke up, even just a little, my mom would say, "You always make everything about you." And my dad? He'd just sigh and leave the room. They weren't physically abusive. No scars. No bruises. Just silence when I needed love. Sarcasm when I needed comfort. Control when I needed space. And guilt, always guilt. If I didn't answer a text within 10 minutes, it was, "Are you alive? Or just too good for your own parents now?" If I made a decision without telling them, I guess we raised a stranger. If I said no to a family dinner, "Enjoy your lonely life, sweetheart. One day we won't be around." I didn't fully understand it was abuse until I went to college. I roomed with a girl named Jasmine, whose parents sent her care packages every month. They FaceTimed just to say hi. She'd come back from winter break glowing with warmth. One day I asked her, casually, "Hey, do your parents ever make you feel like crap for not calling back?" She looked at me like I'd grown two heads. Why would they do that? And that's when it hit me. Not all parents make you feel like love is a test you have to pass. I tried to confront mine. Gently. I told my mom once, "I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around you sometimes." She laughed. Laughed. "Oh honey. You've always been sensitive. You just can't handle a strong mother." I told my dad I wanted therapy. He said, "Don't tell them everything. You're not crazy, don't let them convince you that you are." But therapy did help. It helped me see that the rules of our home were not normal. That love with strings attached isn't love, it's manipulation. That being told you're selfish for setting boundaries is exactly why you need them. So I started pulling away. Stopped oversharing. Stopped explaining myself. Stopped apologizing for needing space. And then the final straw came. It was my 28th birthday. I planned a small dinner with friends. Just a few people I actually felt safe around. I didn't invite my parents. I couldn't handle another evening of, "Why is your hair like that?" or "That's what you wore," or "Is that guy gay?" whispered just loud enough for people to hear. When they found out they weren't invited, my mom called me sobbing. "I hope you're happy. You humiliated us. After everything we've done for you." My dad texted me 3 words. "You're dead. To us." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I blocked their numbers. Emails. Socials. Everything. That was 11 months ago. I've moved to a new city. Started a new job. Got my own therapist. A cat named Luna. 2 plants. A real friend group that doesn't make me feel like a fraud. But the guilt? It doesn't vanish. Sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. thinking, what if they die and I never speak to them again? Then, 5 minutes later, I think, what if I speak to them again, and it kills me slowly like it always did? People don't understand what it's like going no contact with your parents. They say things like, "But they're your family." Yeah. And that's what makes it so complicated. If a stranger treated me like they did, I'd walk away without thinking twice. But when it's your own mother, your own father, it cuts deeper. It makes you question your own worth. But I've learned something important this year. You don't owe loyalty to people who only loved the version of you they could control. You don't owe access to people who weaponize your existence. Family isn't about blood. It's about safety. It's about peace. I may still cry about them sometimes. I may still miss the idea of them. But I don't miss the pain. And that tells me everything I need to know. It's been 2 years since I stopped communicating with parents. 2 years of therapy, boundaries, healing, silence. 2 years of building a life that doesn't revolve around managing someone else's moods. And for the most part, I've been okay. But trauma is funny like that. Just when you think it's done echoing, it knocks again. Last week, I got a message on LinkedIn of all places. It was from someone I hadn't heard from in over 4 years. Ethan C. My little brother. He's 7 years younger than me. When I moved out at 18, he was just 11, all wide eyes and video games and silence during dinner. He rarely talked back. He rarely talked at all. I tried to stay close to him when I went to college. Texts. Birthday cards. But our parents didn't like that. They didn't like me poisoning him with my independence. Eventually, he stopped replying. Until now. His message said, "Hey. I don't know if this is okay. But I really need to talk to you." My heart dropped. I didn't know if I should reply. But I did. We met at a cafe the next day. When he walked in, I almost didn't recognize him. He looked taller, sharper, but tired in a way a 22-year-old shouldn't. He hugged me like he hadn't hugged anyone in years. Then we sat down, and the first thing he said was, "You were right." He told me everything. How after I left, our parents tightened their grip on him. How they guilt him into staying, blamed him for driving me away. How they made him feel like love was a job he could never finish. "Mom still brings you up, you know," he said. "But not like she misses you. More like, she wants to remind me not to be you." He said he didn't know what healthy love felt like until he started dating a girl named Maya, someone who pointed out how strange it was that he had to ask permission to have dinner with friends. He started therapy. Secretly. And eventually, he moved out last month. Now he wanted something he wasn't sure he deserved. "I don't want to bring drama back into your life, Sarah. But I miss you. Anne. I think I need my sister again." I cried in that cafe. Not because it hurt. But because for the first time in my life, someone came out of that house too. Someone else saw it. Someone else survived it. We talked for hours. Not about mom and dad, not just about them, anyway. About our childhood. About the books we both secretly read. The nights we both hid under blankets during their fights. The guilt. The shame. The loneliness that felt like it would drown us. And then he said something that stuck with me. "I used to think I was safe because I didn't speak up. But silence isn't safety. It's slow erosion. Now we talk every week. We're rebuilding. Not the family we had. But the one we deserved. It's not easy. I still flinch when my phone rings from an unknown number. He still apologizes too much. But we're unlearning it, together. And as for my parents, they don't know we've reconnected. And maybe they never will. Because this isn't about them anymore. This is about healing in spite of them. This is about planting something real in the ashes they left behind.